have like arm patterns. So you're trying to do techniques or something. Trying to do a move over again. Okay. I always let him, he does whatever, it's just ever so slightly. He has like a down, there's more pressure on this hand, and there's an in. Okay? So I reconcile that one. I'll do that again, okay? So ever so slightly, I felt a down, there's a downwardness to it, and there's an inwardness to it, and there was more pressure on this hand, okay? So you'll see that I'm yielding to that. He's pushing me this way, because that hand coming this way. So that's why he goes that way, you see? He pushed my hands there. I don't know where he's gonna go till I feel where he's gonna go. So that's why I say he pushed me there. That's why I say I let him move my hands there. I'm not trying to go like this, okay? He moved my hands there. Then that extra pressure that he had here, that's the pressure that I project off. You guys see that? So, because some of you are like, you're going here and you're like, oh, this uke did something different than that last uke where that one worked. You see, because you just have this move where you're going to go like that to everyone. You see that? And then maybe he's heavier, or he's pushing down more, or he can get way more leverage on you. You see, for what you're doing. So as you're trying to combine, you like get stuck here. Okay? Instead, he goes where he is. You can see the heavier hand I use for the projection hand. Do you guys understand that? And then remember that even if you get stuck here, it won't rebound you until you tense. In the same way that you're out here and you relax at that moment, you could do all this stuff out here as long as you're relaxed. Well, the same thing. This won't cause problems till you get tense. And usually you're getting tense because your choreography, you notice it's not going to work. And then you get tense, okay? But if you're just feeling it, more and more relaxed, that doesn't matter. If you want to turn, you can turn. You can hold. Come out slow. This doesn't become a problem so you go, not working. You can always come here, open up too. There's no reason why. You get what I'm going to slow down? I got here, and now here's where I open up. Yield one way. Project if I need to take some mass off of him, okay? It's just, even if it's slight, you're like, not working, you got him. And you don't even, let's say, even less. I don't move, but I felt the tension. I don't want that. Okay? Or I felt my weight go to my heels. I don't want that. Before that happens, yield at the end, except at the end, even there. But if you move away from choreography and you're just in a relationship with him, it'll work. Okay? Try it. All right, the training's kind of counterintuitive for moderns in that you're like goal oriented. So you're like, oh, I moved him. Oh, I moved him. That's not it. The training is skill development. So parameters are set. Yes, move him, but it's how you're moving him. Okay. And the how is determined by certain metrics that you have. So one of them is midfoot. I mentioned that in the last break. So if I felt heel weight, you see, even if I was able to move him, I would go, no, that's not correct. Okay? Another one is your feet moving. Your feet don't move. Your feet stay exactly like they are now. Don't let them wiggle on you. They stay exactly like they are now. Bring some awareness to what your feet are doing. To where your weight is, which we already mentioned. If you can, bring that awareness up to your calves. Feel no tension there. If you can, come up through the groins, to the glutes. Okay? Got it. They are now. Don't let them wiggle on you. They stay exactly like they are now. Bring some awareness to what your feet are doing. To where your weight is, which we already mentioned. If you can, bring that awareness up to your calves. Feel no tension there. If you can, come up through the groins, to the glutes. Okay? Try it. So let's try to remember this. The arm fighting is very, very difficult. It happens, but it's so low percentage, and it's why when we deconstruct the posture, that's why my projection line is through the center, not on the arms, not in the shoulders. Okay. So there's a lot, you'll have like, I'll come into the shoulders, do you see? I'm in the shoulders. And yes, he's on his toes, do you get it? And then you'll have throws from here, like people will do throws, okay? It doesn't duplicate in if we were actually fighting. So as he's fighting, right, I'm not going to get in his shoulders and try to get that, do you get it? But I can get in his center. You guys understand?
Right.
Do you understand?
Yes.
Okay, so there's really no martial. I mean, I guess there is if you try to take control of a guy's arms and shoulders. But you get way more control if you're in the center, okay? Just martially speaking. But in terms of what I want to do energetically, alchemically, that doesn't do anything for me, okay? So what we want to do is not be in your shoulders. Even if I'm projecting into your shoulders, I always have to feel your center. So I shouldn't ever have your shoulders up, and I'm doing that. Here's that same move, but lower. Do you see that? So same move, shoulders. Same move, lower. You guys see that? Okay, so it doesn't matter what, if you're doing the heel, don't come up in his shoulder. On this hand, you don't pull the shoulder, you pull the center. So don't go in his shoulders. Same thing, center. Same thing, high. My hands are high, but it's low. You feel that? Okay. High, low. Okay? And you can see ever so slightly his shoulders going up, his shoulders going down. You'll have to always feel for that. There should always be a slight little crunch somewhere in there where you have it. Slight little crunch before the projection. Don't leave this free floating and you're up here like that. Always crunch, crunch. It doesn't matter which one you do. Crunch, crunch. You yield a lot, there's a crunch. Okay? And even on your projection line, when I have this hand here, don't go up the shoulder. This hand goes into that same center. So a lot of you are getting this yield, but then you're pushing his shoulder. Is it pushable? Yes. But you want to go here, center. Here, center. Boom. Okay, you guys see that? Stay out of the shoulders. Then you'll more likely stay out of your shoulders. Okay? Try it.
Okay, so then you yielded with your elbows. Your head on the yield. Elbow on the right. You're late. That means you're late on the yield. Early on the yield. Keep going. Late, elbow bend. Elbow bend. Late on the yield. Early on the yield.
If you two got it, I don't want you projecting hard into her center. Okay. So what I mean is you're intellectualizing it. You're late, and then you have to bend your elbow. See? Well, my hand should stay in katata dori. Okay. So even as I'm moving, there's on the one I did on Andrew. You see there, that was the projection point. You see that?
Yes.
Well, if that's just the inward spiral. If I unwind it, it's the same elbow bend. You see that?
Yes.
Okay? So I don't have to go here. I keep the same bend. Okay? Same bend. Same bend. What I'm not going to go, I'll go back please. Early. So how do I stop being late? How do I stop being early? Is I let you touch my hands. You touch my hands. There you go. You touch my hands. You touch my hands. Even if I go closer to my body, it doesn't matter. You touch my hands. You touch my hands. I'm not predicting. I'm not getting smashed. But you touch my hands. And if you pay attention, what's instinctual to me is eventually I just reach for you. So I started doing that on Andrew, and I started just doing it on you. So I'm not here. I start as we start going. There's a little grip counter in there. And I can't do that if I'm late or predicting. Okay? Alright, try it. Okay, so a lot of you are having this hand come down, like your yield hand. So you go in here, and then you're projecting it. This hand doesn't just go here. This hand sticks. So it could go the other way, you see? It has to stick, has to move him. You guys got that? And so a lot of times it's going dead because you're like, got you, bitch. You come here on the projection line, but it's dead. Okay? And instead, this is, if we go back to what I eventually start doing, I'm here, you see? And it's sticking. Okay? So if you leave it in the grip, it still has to do it. It still has to do it. So even though it looks like it's here, it's not. It's sticking inside. No different than if you're out here and you're sticking, or no different on the projection hand. The projection hand can't go through. It has to stick so that it has the projection point. So obviously in the yin-yang world, there's going to be some Aiki in the Kokyu. You see that? And in the yield, in the external yield, there has to be an internal aspect too. So even though you're dropping, and then the more you have that, you don't have to make the big yields. So I'm going to just show you what I did. As I'm here, and I stick, there it is, and I turn, that was it. There's the tilt. Okay. Here's that rotating axle in the spiral. And keep the adhesion. And here's the perpendicular projection line in the center. You guys see that? So you're just here and it's boom. Okay? But it's all because even though my arm is moving externally through space, inside the grip, I don't move it irrelevant of these internal aspects. Okay? All right, try it.